I'm Johnny. This is Johnny Likes, the show where I talk about movies that I like. Today, I'm talking about one of my favorite action movies from when I was growing up. Today, Johnny likes The Running Man. It's the far-off future year of 2017, and Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Ben Richards, a former police officer who is serving time for a crime he didn't commit.
There are lots of women and children down there. All they want is food, for God's sake.
Proceed with Plan Alpha. All rioters must be eliminated.
The hell with you.
He is able to escape prison with a little help from his friends, and then after taking a hostage, is apprehended at an airport. His arrest footage catches the eye of Damon Killian, played by Richard Dawson, who is the host of the nation's most popular game show, The Running Man, which is a mashup of Gladiators, WWE, and The Most Dangerous Game. Richard soon finds himself an unwilling competitor trying to survive and to prove his innocence in The Running Man. So, like I said, it was one of my favorite action movies growing up. I saw it a ton, and it holds a lot of nostalgia for me. Honestly, it's not aged great, though. When I watched it again recently, I found the first half hour or so to be a little bit painful at parts. Everything before Arnie enters The Running Man, if this had been my first time watching it, I would have been mercilessly mocking it. Schwarzenegger's dialogue was comical, and his motivations and actions were sketchy at best. Once we get into the Running Man game, though, the movie does get better. It's still fun for me to watch him take on all the stalkers. Captain Freedom, Buzzsaw, Dynamo, Fireball, and Sub-Zero.
Professor Sub-Zero!
Oh, I'm sorry, and Professor Sub-Zero. And I always kind of wondered if that's where Mortal Kombat got their character name from, or if it's just a coincidence. The fights with the stalkers are cheesy, and Arnold has to get in a one-liner after every kill.
How about the light?
But it's still enjoyable cheese. Let's get this straight. Richards isn't a great guy. During his prison break, he murders several guards.
Give you a lift?
Who are most likely just guys trying to make a living, and this is the only job they could get. Maybe it has benefits, I don't know. The next thing Richard does is go to his brother's former apartment and kidnap the girl who now lives there. Oh, he also robs her first. So he's now crossed the line and is a legitimate bad guy. He literally went to jail for refusing to kill innocent civilians, and within 20 minutes of screen time, he's killed a bunch of people and robs and kidnaps a woman. I've heard that prison can change a person, but come on, this is a bit much. The rest of his murders, in all fairness, are self-defense. But I kind of have a fan theory that if you were to change Schwarzenegger's character into a serial killer instead of an innocent man, you could have the movie pretty much play the same, just with some minor plot changes. And all of a sudden, it would be this weird movie where you're cheering for a serial killer. I don't know, I think it could have worked. This is one of my favorite categories or subgenres of movie, which is movies that were made in the past but take place in our present or recent past as it is here. You get to see what people back then thought what now might look like. You get to see what they got right, what they got wrong. And there's a few things that this one got fairly spot on. The voice-activated smart home.
Lights. Kitchen. Toast and coffee. ICS Channel 1.
The rise of the fascist government that controls the media hits a little too close to home for comfort. The deepfake tech that they use to show Jesse Ventura kill Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never know the difference. All right, boys. Let's see you dance.
Sensational.
We have that now. They also show a clip from a TV show called Climbing for Dollars, where the idea is someone has to climb a rope while angry dogs are biting at their feet and they get cash thrown at them. It's supposed to play as ridiculous satire, but as long as the dogs never got hurt, I would watch that show and I think it would be probably a hit. I still like the over-the-top action. The world building, the general look of the buildings and exteriors. And of course, the exploding head prison collars. I thought it was clever to have Richard Dawson play a game show host, due to his real-life history with the Family Feud. I also liked the social commentary messaging. Don't trust the government. Question what the media is showing you. The general public is gullible and has an insatiable thirst for violence, be it simulated or otherwise. I also like the general premise, this survival game show. I think it's the best of that subgenre. I've always liked this better than the Hunger Games series or the Battle Royale, which both also share the same basic deadly game show premise. I've also always been a sucker for Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. He's probably my favorite action hero of all time. He brings a certain larger-than-life aspect to his movies that I love, and it's just kind of irreplaceable. I don't think this movie would have been as big a hit if he had a different action star at the time. The only other person I think who maybe could have pulled it off would be Van Damme, but he wasn't really famous yet. At any rate, I don't think it would be the classic in my eyes if anyone else was in the lead role. I thought the one-liners have aged horribly. They seem so out of place and are pretty cringy.
Julian, I'll be back.
Here is Sub-Zero! Now, Plane Zero!
The acting has only ever been passable at best, and time has done it no favors. The action, although I still enjoy it and find it kind of fun, is undeniably cheesy and dated. The forced kiss at the ending between Amber and Richards, it made me squirm because it's so unearned and out of nowhere. It's like just because they're a man and woman, they have to kiss at the end. That's like a law. And like I said before, the first 30 minutes or so of the movie weren't my favorite, particularly the interactions between Maria Conchita Alonso and Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I still like this movie, and I probably always will. I can't pretend that it's as good as it once was, though. Now I watch it mostly for the nostalgia kick, and I can't imagine it gaining too many new younger fans. That doesn't mean that it's not without its charms, though. I just don't think that it has the pull that it once did, which is understandable considering its age. So I'm going to rate this a 3.5 out of 5. 20 years ago, this would have easily been a 4.5 out of 5, but it just doesn't hold up well enough to warrant that high of a rating, honestly. So I did learn a couple things doing this review, just doing a little bit of research. The director of this, Paul Michael Glaser, was apparently famous for playing Starsky on Starsky and Hutch. It was a little bit before my time, so the name didn't mean anything to me. He also directed the Mandela Effect adjacent Kazam movie, so that's kind of neat. And Steven D'Souza wrote this, and as I was looking up what else he wrote, I learned that he wrote like a ton of movies that I liked. He did Commando, Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, Jumpin' Jack Flash, 48 Hours, Hudson Hawk, Judge Dredd. And I'm not sure how I never realized that these were all by the same person, because I'm usually pretty good about spotting names and seeing stuff like that. So what do you guys think of The Running Man? Does it hold up well? Still viewing it through nostalgia lenses like me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you could do me a favor while you're here, like, subscribe. It's quick, free, and relatively painless. Plus, it helps me out. Thanks for watching me talk about movies for a little bit, and you can tune in next time to see what else Johnny likes.